What's going on, guys? So today we are finally going to start taking care of some of the dirt that's inside of the rally car. And yes, I do have the Datsun in here. You don't get to see this yet. These videos will be out in a few weeks, and then you'll start seeing build progress on this. But as you can see, work is actually happening on this thing. But I thought we didn't have any rally events yet this year, but there's a rallycross coming up in a couple weeks, so we're going to start prepping this car for it. Really, I just need to pull the seats out, start cleaning all of the car on the inside because it's nasty anyway, and then start putting everything back together, which I think I'm going to reseal the floor too. So I'm just going to like grind off the paint, weld in the plugs, and then we'll start sealing up all the holes around where we plugged them, and put some different paint on there because I also don't like how slippery that paint is because it's just normal paint. So it's really slippery when it's wet. So let's actually start checking this thing out, see what all we have to do. But first, I think it's going to start raining, so I might push the Datsun out and just get this thing inside so I can take care of it all inside. I don't have to worry about it, and then get the Datsun back in here later today. That was a huge pain to push that thing out. So the drive shaft is catching every time I push it, because what I have holding it up right now, because obviously no transmission or anything in there, so it doesn't want to roll at all, even downhill. So getting it up back in here is probably going to be pain, but this is going to be a huge pain too. If you didn't remember, we had that incident where everything came in, all the mud and whatnot, when we like blasted through the puddle. So now the inside is super trash, so we got to clean it finally today. It's only been about 2 months since the rally happened, and everything is disgusting in here. So we're gonna pull the seats out and the harnesses, get everything out of here pretty much, and then just start cleaning. Honestly, I don't know how I'm gonna clean it all, because honestly I think I kind of just need to like hose it out, but I don't really want to do that because that's just too much water inside. So I don't know, probably a bunch of rags, and it's gonna take a while. It's not gonna be fun. And now we get to see how nasty it is in here. It is pretty bad. As you can see, lots of trash, lots of dirt, lots of everything. So yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun to clean. Yeah, you can see all the stuff that we went through. You always got to have wipes with you, just you never know what happens, you know, in the middle of the woods. Got our duct tape covering up the hole that we put in the car. These are the plugs that I was talking about earlier that we're going to patch up. Those just have silicone holding them in, like a seam sealer. So we're going to strip all that out, get it clean enough to weld those plugs on there so that they're actually firm. They're not going to go anywhere. And then we'll use seam sealer all around it. And then we're going to put some sort of like bedliner type stuff down underneath here, rather than white paint, because I'm not a fan of how slippery it is. And I'd like it to hide a little bit of the dirt, because this white gets trashed pretty early, which, not that it matters. There's literally nothing clean on this car except for the front A-pillars are still a little bit mud free and still look nice from when I painted it, but everything else is completely trashed. Alright, I didn't want to bore you guys with watching me try to clean this thing. It literally took like 4 hours to get it as clean as it is. And it's not even that clean. It's still super dirty in here. It's pretty bad. I don't know how the water got in all the places that it did. It was pretty crazy. There's still so many areas that like I couldn't really clean that well, and I didn't do a very good job in the back. I might redo some of it and clean it up a little bit more, but whatever. We're taking a break from cleaning it for a little while. All right, we got all our plugs cleaned up and all the holes cleaned up. So we are ready to start throwing these in, tack them into place, and then see if I have any seam sealer, which I'm not sure I do, as I'm looking around trying to find some. Yeah, hopefully I have some so I can finish this up and we can clean it up, paint it and whatnot today, but we'll see. All right, they are all tacked in. Just like I said, we're not going crazy with it, not welding them up fully. They're definitely tacked in there pretty solidly, so we don't have to worry about them coming up anymore. So next step, we got to clean it up and hit it with some seam sealer all the way around to try to smooth them out, make them look a little better. And then we're going to clean up this whole area and mark off some areas with tape, and we're going to put down Bedliner because I'm tired of slipping on this slick paint, and it's already trashed anyway, and it's been removed in so many spots that it doesn't look good anymore anyway. So why not just go with black and some Bedliner so it has a little bit of texture to it. Well, not sure if you can hear me, but we got all the seam sealer on, so we're going to let these cure for a little while, probably like an hour or two, before we actually throw on the paint. And it's just brush-on paint, so it's not spraying or anything like that. And we'll prep this area a little bit better and tape exactly where we want it, so we kind of have some sort of like clean lines going on it. But yeah, we're going to do this. Right now we're cleaning the seats. That's why she's vacuuming right now. So once we do this and everything painted, we could just throw this stuff right back in. And we already cleaned the belts too. And they're over there drying because they were super crusted in mud hanging on the edge of the waist. Yeah, so we got a little while before we can actually start doing anything else. All right, seats are finally clean. They were terrible. I didn't really show them before. We just vacuumed the crap out of them and then used some upholstery cleaner. Scrubbed them. They smelled really bad too because it kind of got like mildewy from how much water got on them, but mine was just trashed, and it's definitely way better now. They're looking a lot more like new. Definitely still nasty from the multiple rallies that we've done with them, but they're clean and they're not as nasty now, which is good. So those are ready. They can just dry and they're ready to go back in eventually, but we still got to wait a while for this stuff to cure. Apparently it takes like 24 hours for this stuff to become tacky, which is how long I should wait to paint it, but I don't know, we'll see. Next day, and we are ready to start prepping this for paint. So I'm just going to go in, scuff all the areas that it's going to go with, so pretty much just the floor and the back of the car as well, so like the spare tire well, that's where we're going to put this stuff. So we're going to scuff it real quick and then throw some paint down, or not paint, sorry, tape. We're going to throw tape down so that we have nice clean lines and we don't get it everywhere. And then we'll start applying it. It's not the warmest day. This stuff is still kind of tacky, but I think it'll be fine. It's been sitting for about 24 hours, so it should be good. But it is only about 55, 60 degrees in my garage, so it's not that warm. But we're going to try to knock this out because I can't put that much time on this thing. I got to get it ready for Rallycross in about a week and a half, and then get this done. And I need to start working on the dots and some more too. All right, first coat is done on both sides, so we're going to let this sit for a while. I think it says 2 to 3 hours between coats. Now I don't have enough to do like the entire area because I kind of cheaped out and didn't buy enough, but I went heavier on the areas that are actually see traffic. So like where the pedals are, where my feet are going to be, where her feet are going to be for the co-driver, those are definitely thicker, and that's where it's going to get a second coat. And then like the areas underneath the seat and then behind the seat, not really going to see anything, but still want to make it matched and a little bit less of that dirty white and something easier to clean. So it gets that one coat. We might brush it up a little bit more depending on how it looks as it dries, but second coat is definitely going to go on where the feet are going to go. That way that's the most durable section. I already like how it looks. I mean, it doesn't look that great in here, honestly, but biggest attribute to this is definitely going to be not falling every single time I try to get in here, because you put a lot of weight on like 1 foot when you try to get in the cage, because it's like 1 foot goes in like that, and then all your weight is going on there. So if it's slick, you just go whoosh, like straight forward, and it's really easy to like bust your head. So that should definitely solve this. So super happy about that. But we're going to let this sit for a little while, come back, throw on the second coat. So I waited about an hour and a half, 2 hours-ish, and I threw on the remainder of that stuff. Really didn't go that much farther because I didn't have very much at all. I only bought 1 quart, though. I definitely would recommend buying a little bit more if you want to do this. And go with the Harbor Freight stuff. It's better than this crap. I couldn't find it. Harbor Freight stuff works good. I've talked to some people that said that it was good, too. And I also, since I didn't have enough, I just went back here, and I used the spray paint Bedliner back here, because this is getting just torn up from throwing tools, the spare tire, everything back here. So this should help with that. I'm also going to put a drain plug in here. I'm just going to drill a hole straight through, honestly. So if water collects, it can at least drain out, because there was a lot of standing water in here. I don't want to have that again, so we're going to throw that in there. But I guess this is pretty much done. I might let this cure for like 6 hours and then throw on some spray paint, some of that Bedliner spray paint over it, just to kind of fill it in, because it is kind of weak in some areas, and you can kind of see the white coming through, especially on the passenger side, because I can run out of some. But I might not. I don't know. It doesn't look that bad, and it's fine. It's a floor anyway. It'll hold up a lot better than that white paint, which is good, and it should hide the dirt too, which is also kind of nice. All right, we finally got it clean. Got the seats in, seat belts are in. Yeah, so I cleaned up a little bit more, fixed some of the wiring. A lot of it was like hanging down for like the intercom system. Some of the lights were hanging down because all the water came up, kind of ruined the double-sided tape that was holding it. So it was kind of ghetto. Let this thing adjust a little bit. There we go. So yeah, it's a little bit better in here, a lot cleaner. Definitely think it looks a lot better than it did. Yeah, and there's the floor. I guess you guys haven't seen it yet. I definitely could have done a better job of activating the tape, so I could have got cleaner lines. As you can see, didn't really get the straightest lines. If you run like a damp towel over that tape, it'll get it to activate a little bit better, and you'll get more crisp lines. That way you don't get it to like bleed through like that, but whatever, not a big deal. Seats are all good. Got these things all taped up. Yeah, not much more to show. But this video is done. I'm not going to drag it out any longer. It probably wasn't that good anyway, because it was just me cleaning the car, making it look a little bit better. I still have to kind of figure out some stuff with the car. It feels really loose in the rear end. Kind of driving it down the road, feels like it wanders a lot. So something might be loose, something might be bent. The alignment might have just got whacked out. I don't know. We're going to check it all out, though. Try to get this thing pretty much good for the next rally, even though we don't have any stage rally coming up for a long time, but we do have that rallycross coming up. So I want to get it fully prepped, so that way it can just sit, kind of just wait on the back burner. That way I don't have to touch it and prep for the next rally. So whenever that is, I'm sure it'll get a lot more work before then, but it's a lot closer now than it was before. So that's good. Less work for me, and more time that I can start focusing on the Datsun, which is what I need to do right now. So, like I said, I was going to end the video, but then I went on a ramble streak. So, appreciate you guys watching. Have a good one. See you with whatever I got coming out next.